ago, there was a survey, and it was conducted by asking hiring managers of MBA grads. It's going on, I don't know, at least a decade. And 86% of those hiring managers that hired MBAs at Fortune 500 companies responded that they found interpersonal skills. 86% of them said they found it very important. And in many cases, the push is always to be academically focused, 4.0. But I've talked to countless employers who say, if you have a 4.0 and that's all you have on your resume, you're not really the candidate for me. If you have a 4.0 and you are involved on campus in a variety of activities, then that is a well-rounded candidate. But it's very difficult for most people to pursue that. But we will say, most companies will want, let's say, a 3.0 minimum GPA. For really highly competitive positions, you're looking at a 3.5 and higher. When I say highly competitive, I mean positions where there are great demand. Typically, let's say, I will call it the banking space. There's a great demand. However, there are very few positions. So the easiest way to thin the candidate pool is to say we're going to get a really obscenely high GPA. But in addition to that high GPA, they want you to have skills. They want you to have interests. They want you to, let's say, scuba dive and salsa dance and be a leader on campus and have some demonstrated leadership, interpersonal, communication, time management, budget management skills. So there's so many different ways that you can do that. In addition, they want you to be involved in your community. So I know specifically at Rutgers, there are over 300 student organizations.
Wow.
So whatever piques your interest, you can find it at Rutgers University. And if it's not there, you have the option of creating it for yourself. So there's organizations that focus on service, that focus on politics, that focus on careers, that focus on items of leisure. So it's really up to you to seek out those areas that are of interest to you and embed yourself in the organization and become familiar. But typically companies will say, I want interpersonal skills, I want communication skills. They want analytical skills, critical thinking abilities, right? So if you're presented with a problem, how do you synthesize the information that you have available to come up with a viable solution for what's going on? They want go-getters, people who are going to do their best to figure it out, but yet have a sense of when it's appropriate to ask questions. They want likable people who aren't difficult to work with. Exactly. So they want individuals that are aligned with their values. So it's not always just about getting good grades. Good grades are only one part of the equation, but it's really utilizing undergraduate experience to develop yourself holistically.